there?
One, he's become very coachable this year. And then two, don't let the stats fool you when it comes to 13 points scored or whatever. They could have had easily 20 plus if not for 3 flags on their offense. This is the throw, Greeny, you're talking about. Full speed on sprinting to the right. That's an absolute pearl. Perfect to George Pickens. This is a touchdown pass to George Pickens that gets waved off because a little bit of a ticky-tack offensive pass interference. And then he's going to take a shot versus the newly paid Patrick Surtain. And if not for PI, that ball is perfectly thrown to George Pickens downfield. So you're looking at 2 touchdowns in that situation, probably another 100 or so yards and 20 plus points. I don't think it's even a question. And I think the biggest thing is he's shown coachable. What was the biggest issue that we talked about this offseason in relation to Justin and his playing style? Holds it too long, takes too many sacks.
Right.
He's getting the ball out. He's not hurting his football team. He's playing to the strength of how they want to be identity and defense-wise. I think they can play with anybody.
Yeah, he was sacked, I think, twice in this game. But here's what I know about Justin Fields. All right, he's a dang winner. He's 6-2 over his last 8 games as a starter. All right, so he finds a way to get it done. I said last week, he came in the league as a better athlete than quarterback. He's closing that gap a little bit as a quarterback. And I'm not going to bench this guy.
No.
I got a perfect situation in Pittsburgh. If I'm the Steelers, I got Russell Wilson behind him if something happens.
Right.
So I don't know. I tell you what, this kid, I've been impressed with him. I've been impressed with the whole offense, quite honestly. And they're like, how they stink. They don't score any points. Yeah, they win games. They're running the ball. They're winning games.
Yeah.
They play the Chargers.
Okay. So let's talk about this. I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade. I think Justin Fields played great. I think he continues his trajectory, right? Where he has some unbelievable highs. Where you're just like, wow, no wonder he is just, no wonder why people think he's so unbelievable. No wonder why he was drafted where he was. He's making throws that Caleb Williams has not made, right? I mean, that's just a reality. He's literally making throws that Caleb Williams is not making. Although, to be clear, obviously Caleb is a true rookie and Justin Fields has been in the league now for a few years. So he better, right? He better. He's very agile. He's strong. He's not a bum, right? He's not a bum like a lot of people believe him to be. And I think almost this season, because as Dan Orlovsky kind of pointed out, that, he's coachable. And I think in a lot of ways, we got to view Justin Fields, his progress almost as a rookie or almost as like a second-year player who sat his first year. Like they just did, the Bears did nothing to develop Justin Fields, truly nothing. And now we're going to hopefully see progress week after week after week after week. And that's important. So I think we do got to grade Justin Fields on a curve and not so much of like, well, he's been in the league for years. He better ball out. He better be able to do this, right? He should look better than actual true rookies. But I think we still have to grade him on a curve. I mean, some of his throws, the one throw that was then called back was just like insane. I mean, it was probably the best throw of the week if it wasn't for a couple other insane throws like Kyler Murray and Kyler Murray had a few unbelievable throws, as well as Sam Darnold's like 99-yard pass to Justin Jefferson. So Justin Fields held his own without a doubt. That defense is gritty and great. And I said that before, like that this is going to be a defensive-led team as it typically is. And you just need Justin Fields to not hold you back, to not give the ball away, to not make the defense do extra work. And that is what's proving to be the case. And that's even what Dan Orlovsky pointed out. I said this months ago. And which is why then I was leaning more towards Russell Wilson to start. But at this point, this is where it's an interesting question in terms of tossing it up between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, because I don't know who Russell Wilson is as a quarterback anymore. But here's where I'm going to maybe anger a few Pittsburgh Steelers fans, but we just have to be honest about what's happening right now, okay? They played the Falcons week number 1. Kirk Cousins did not look great. That offense did not look great, did not have a lot going on week 1. That's just a reality. Right, Kirk Cousins, they don't know how healthy he is. They had him in the shotgun the whole time. They were just doing things that Kirk Cousins doesn't even necessarily excel in. It was week 1. We know defense is well ahead of offense week 1. That's not even up for debate. That's just, an incredibly old saying within the NFL. Still a good win, so don't freak out. Still a good win, but still, we got to put things in context, right? It's going to be really interesting to see what the Falcons look like versus Eagles. If the Falcons put up 28 points, really ball out great against the Eagles, then that'll go well for the Steelers. But, we'll have to wait and see. And then now in this game, they played the Broncos, right? The Broncos with the rookie Bo Nix, they were able to obviously really contain that Broncos offense. And, they haven't really needed this offense to get out there and win any games. So we got to see this defense. If this can truly be a defensive-led team and consistently hold these teams like under 20 points, we got to see them play like a better team, right? They're going to be playing the Chargers, but even the Chargers only have such a high-powered offense. They're still developing and working through their own growing pains with Harbaugh and Herbert and just not as stacked of a roster as some of these other teams. I got to look at their schedule, but I want to see what they do against teams that we know have good offenses, that we just know can sling the ball, right? That can really execute a great offense. The Falcons did not execute a great offense, and the Denver Broncos did not either. And again, it's not to say that the Steelers aren't contributing to that, but we just need to see some more bona fide established offenses. That was Kirk Cousins' first game after an Achilles injury with the Atlanta Falcons, a new team, new weapons, new coaching, new everything, new system. And then this is a rookie quarterback. So we just have to wait, and that's okay. Steelers fans don't have to get all upset about that. You just have to wait. This is the process of figuring out who these teams are in the first few weeks. It's awesome that the Steelers have been able to win those few games. It's awesome that Justin Fields doesn't cough up the ball or do things to hurt his team. So that bodes well, very well. So you should be really excited about that. But I just got to see, you're going to have to put up more points. And I know what Dan said, that don't be fooled by that they could have more points, but you got to prove it. We got to see it. We got to see it happen. We got to see in a tightly contested game where the other quarterback on the other team just, put up 21 points, 28 points. What does that offense do? When you rely on that offense more, what does that offense look like? What does Justin Fields look like? That's all I'm just waiting to see. It's not saying that he can't do it. It's not that I'm doubting him. It's just we got to wait and see. When we say, oh, they won 2 games, it's like they beat the Broncos and they beat the Falcons, right? So that's just very 2 specific teams. Got to see them play some harder teams. Got to see them play more established quarterbacks with more established either offensive head coaches or coordinators for me to get a better feel for who this defense is. Not to say, because I think the defense is always going to be good. Mike Tomlin is a great defensive coach, so of course the defense will still be good. But I just got to see how much can they contain these better teams, and when do they start to ask Justin Fields to do more? 9 passes over 10 yards, fewest in the NFL. That is a thing just to kind of keep your eye out for, but he can obviously sling it, right? Obviously he's made some unbelievable throws. So I do like that they understand the opponent. They understand who the Falcons were. They understood who the Broncos were. So they weren't asking too much of Justin Fields, and that's smart, right? They're going to bring him along slowly, get some momentum, get some wins, give them some wiggle room, and then they can maybe start to kind of, I don't even want to say take chances, but just extend the offense a little bit, because they're going to have to, right? It all depends on what your expectations are for this team. Do you think this team can compete in the playoffs? Do you think they can compete for the AFC championship game, the Super Bowl? If you believe, if you're just like, nah, you know what, I just really think this is a good, hard team and they can win a playoff game or so, then sure, they can maybe continue this trajectory. But if you're like, no, man, this team, they got potential, they can get to the Super Bowl, they can get to the AFC championship game, well, then they're going to need to expand their offense. They just are. The Steelers aren't going to be able to, they're not going to face teams as bad of an offense as, say, the Falcons week 1 and the Broncos here with a rookie quarterback. So it just has to all be put into context. So I am excited. This was one of my top teams that I was really excited to watch, to see unfold. I'm glad we're getting to see Justin Fields. It's very unpredictable. It's a fun watch. He makes some jaw-dropping plays. And it's exciting to see his progress week to week to week. And you know, the Steelers defense is just always that Steelers defense. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think, you know, I guess I'm really curious for you Steelers fans, like, what do you think the trajectory is for the Steelers? Like, what are your goals? What are your hopes? What do you think that the Steelers can realistically achieve this season? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.